Okay, today we will be showing you how to change the drive belt on the model 3310 Front Tine Tiller. First step would be to take the tiller, tip it backwards, supporting the handlebars so that it doesn't lay completely down on the ground. The next step would be to remove the pins holding the tines on and the tines. The next step would be to remove the clutch control lever. This just gives you a little more slack in the belt tensioner. It makes it easier to pull the belt off. And that's done by pulling the hairpin, the washer, and sliding it out of the handlebar. The next step is to remove the 4 bolts holding the belt cover on the front of the unit. You use a 12mm socket and the extension. And then you can remove the belt cover. The next step is to remove the bolts holding the transmission mounting plate on. 2 of them are nuts at the very bottom. The bolts run clear through to the upper part of the handlebar, and then the rest of them are bolts that are through the plate into the frame of the tiller. For this you use a 12mm socket and extension. On the bolts with the nuts on them you would use the wrench. With those 2 nuts removed off those bolts, then you can proceed with taking out the bolts in the bottom of the plate here. With those bolts removed, then you can remove the bottom plate. As you get it to about this point, you can reach in and pull the belt off of the engine port. Once you have removed this assembly, then you can slide the belt off of the transmission pulley. To reinstall it, you would first slide the belt over the transmission pulley and behind the threaded belt guide. And then make sure that it is inside of the looped belt guide. Now you would take the assembly, start sliding it back in place, then hook the belt back over the engine pulley. Once you have the plate put back on, you can start all of the bolts back in here. Do not tighten any of them until you have them all started, including the 2 bottom bolts with the washers and nuts on them. Once you have all the bolts installed, you can tighten them. There is no particular sequence which way to go to tighten them. Now you can reinstall the front belt cover and 4 bolts that hold it in place. Now you put the clutch control lever back in place, installing the link in the upper hole and then sliding it back into the handlebar. You have to do a little pull just slightly on it to get everything aligned back in there, and then reinstall the washer and the hairpin. Now we reinstall the tines, making sure that the sharp edge of the tine is facing forward when it's near the tiller body. Now you can reinstall the pins and the hair clips retaining the tines to the tiller. At this point you can put the tiller back to the operating position and you have the job complete.